eyes on the way I vibe when I walk into the room. Wind blows underneath the soles of my brand new pair of shoes. I got the attention, I'm on a mission. No sweat in the way I step, I got a fresh new attitude. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, you can buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. New look, got the ladies shook. New watch saying it's my time. These magazines wanna feature me, cause they know I'm on the rise. Get the attention, I'm on a mission. Cause ever since I flipped that switch, my power can't be denied. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, you can buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. Get the attention, I'm on a mission. I'm there with a vision. Got a passion, making it happen. Ready for action. And this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. This is my world now.
You are on the right path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery, the journey of self-love, the journey of self-empowerment. Stay on this journey. You are on the right path.
What's up? What's up? Who's in the house? Who's here with me? It's late. Well, it's not late. It's morning somewhere, which is true actually. Somebody said that it's always morning somewhere on the planet. I subscribe to that. It's actually true that it's always morning somewhere. And so whatever freedom, I see you in the house. And so whatever we have to do, we're going to do it. because it's always morning somewhere. I didn't go live last week, and I don't know what this week is going to look like, but I know that I am free at 10:30, that I was free at 10:30. So I started, Mondays are my busiest days, or is my busiest. Monday is my busiest day of the week as far as coaching is concerned. So I usually go to the gym, get out of the gym around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. and jump on a call from 5 till 10 p.m. every hour, like at least 4 calls back to back. And I just finished the last one at 10:30. And so, like, man, I'm going live. Whoever comes on, 1 or 2 guys, I will be going. We need to talk. This is the time that we have. And so here we are. We want to talk about 5 ways to bust up after a relapse, because a relapse has significant repercussions on a man, significant psychological and emotional repercussions on a man on this journey. And I want to share some ideas once again, because I've shared these ideas over and over again. But once again, I do want to reiterate them so that they may help someone. They're helping my clients. They have helped me, of course. And I'm hoping that they're going to help someone out there. Whether it's 1 guy or 2 guys, if you're here, you needed to be here. Right? If you're here, you needed to be here. There we go. Give it a few minutes. Maybe somebody else is going to come on. It's almost 11 p.m., but that's 11 p.m. on the East Coast, right? That's Eastern Standard Time. It's a different time in a different time zone. I have found there to be a lot of confusion about a relapse, and rightly so, because what happens is the recovering guy does not want to anchor any experience on the journey that looks like a failure. But the question that I've asked myself early on my journey, is a relapse really a failure? Does a relapse send a message? And if it does, then what kind of message is that? Is it a negative message? Is it a message of fear? Is it a message of lack of work? Is it a message of weakness? Is it a message of insignificance? What is the message that a relapse sends? And lastly, what is the true perspective of a relapse? What is the true perspective on a relapse? Hey, if you've experienced a relapse, and if you've experienced a sense of defeat after a relapse, drop a 1 in the chat for me, guys. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've experienced that sense of defeat that we all tend to experience after a relapse. So let me text this link to a few individuals. Give me a second, and let me post it on Facebook somewhere. So if you have relapsed and you have experienced the psychological anguish that comes afterwards, put a 1 in the chat for me, guys. Because I do believe that there is a true perspective on a relapse, especially on this journey. I do believe there is a message a relapse sends. And I do believe that unless we are deceiving ourselves, there is a portion of the relapse or the idea that we are going to relapse must be okay with us, because willpower is not enough. If willpower was enough, you wouldn't even be addicted to porn. If willpower was ever enough, you would never choose to stay on PMO. So then willpower is not enough. So that means you can't just tell yourself, I'm not going to do this thing and not do it. So if that's the case, then it's safe to say that a good portion of it is not up to you. So if a good portion of the work is not up to you, then a relapse may not be up to you. And of course, there is a gray line there. The gray line is, when is a relapse sincere? Because, for example, you might relapse without even exhausting all your options, right? Like I like to say, if you feel the energy and you didn't go work out, you didn't go for a run, you didn't leave the house, you didn't take a cold shower, you didn't try to call a friend and have a conversation, you didn't go get your mind involved in something else. Like basically, you didn't put up any fight to the best of your capacity, to the best of your ability, then that relapse, though it might be sincere, but you didn't put enough effort that perhaps could have avoided it, right? So then the gray line here is, some relapses are not genuine relapses. They're not where your body overwhelmed you. For example, you woke up out of sleep finding yourself jerking off. That's a genuine relapse. That's genuine because you were sleeping. You weren't conscious. But if it's during the day, you're feeling overwhelmed and you put up no measure of fight, you didn't try to distract yourself, you didn't try to get your mind to think on something else, you didn't leave the house, you didn't go for a walk, for a run, take a cold shower. Basically, you didn't change your physiology, then it's hard to tell whether that was genuine or not, because there is always a measure of self-deception on this journey. Remember, the addict is filled with self-deception ideas and perspective, right? Because the same brain that would use logic and rationality to save your life is the same brain that's using irrationality and your sexuality to get you to release that semen. But I want to address the genuine relapse tonight. That is, you were overwhelmed, you did put up a fight, you did take a cold shower, you did go for a run, you did work out, You did try to talk to some friends and you left the house, went to the mall. You really did some things. You exhausted some options. Eventually, you were still overwhelmed. It happened. That's a genuine relapse. Another example is a guy who wakes up in the middle of the night with his wee-wee already halfway through. That's genuine. And of course, let me clear this also. A wet dream of it in itself is not a relapse in the sense of you didn't do the act. It might be a loss of energy, it's a loss of semen. It might have broken your streak, but it wasn't a relapse because you did not participate consciously. For example, a man who's not watching porn, who's not addicted to porn, who's never watched porn, if he has a wet dream, he's just gonna say he had a wet dream, right? I mean, that's not a relapse from anything. He just had a wet dream. So it is the same for you. If you had a wet dream, you didn't participate, you didn't look up no porn, you didn't fantasize on anybody, you didn't beat your meat, you just had a wet dream. So that's not a relapse. But the genuine relapse is the one where you were genuinely overloaded, overwhelmed, and your conscience knows there's nothing else you could have done. And that's tricky because most of us choose to deceive ourselves. Anyhow, that's another matter. But if you have relapsed, and you have experienced that sense of defeat, that psychological anguish that comes from the relapse, I want to share some ideas with you. On what a relapse exactly means and how to the right perspective to have on a relapse. Number one, I think idea number one is, if you have had a sincere / genuine relapse, I think the idea there is, the message there is, you're doing the right thing. You're on the right journey. You're accomplishing the right task. Because the only way you can have a relapse is where you have been doing something different. Because when you were on PMO, there was no talk about relapse. It was just a lifestyle. That's all you used to do. That's all you were doing. That was your life. So it wasn't a relapse. There was no talk about relapsing. So just the very fact that you're talking about relapsing or having a relapse conveys the message that, well, you're doing something different than you used to do. Right? That you're on the right path then. Then you are achieving a goal, that you have taken action towards a certain direction, towards a certain goal. Really, that's the true message from a relapse. You're no longer practicing the old lifestyle of indulging yourself in PMO. You are now practicing NoFap and semen retention. And during that practice, one day, one night, you got overwhelmed by your energy and you relapse. This is really the true message of a relapse. The true message is not that you're weak. The true message is not that your willpower was weak. The true message isn't that, oh man, I thought I was stronger than that. The true message is none is not about you. It's really about you're doing something different, and therefore you're doing the right thing. You have taken action in the right direction. You are retaining. And after a relapse, as I teach my client, turn your attention towards your new journey and your retention. Turn your attention that, well, at least I'm doing something different. That streak is broken. It's time for another streak. It's time to go on. It's time to go again. You are doing something different. That's all a relapse means. Well, that's the first message from a relapse, is that it is saying that you are doing something different. So therefore it is honorable. It's saying that you're not practicing this lifestyle, where this experience as a lifestyle, because when you were practicing it, you wouldn't call a jerk off session a relapse. You would say, you would just watch porn. It would just be, and you had some fun, which carries a lot of pain afterwards. But I believe the true message of a relapse is that you are doing the right thing. You are on the right journey. You are abstaining from something. You're traveling the right road. And in doing so, you incurred a moment where you reverted back to the old habit, but it was just for a moment. A relapse says nothing about your willpower. It says nothing about how bad you are at managing your emotions, how weak you are, anything like that. So having this first understanding is actually going to help you to deal with the guilt and the psychological anguish that result from the relapse. I know, you get crazy, like, oh fuck, and I was just maintaining and building this beautiful streak. Now it's gone, and I have to start over again. Yeah, it does feel like that, but then we can get some understanding that can actually help us to bust up. Like, yeah, I just had a relapse. It was a genuine one. Okay, so I got to move on. I can't just stay here. No. The answer is no. If you're practicing NEO, meaning non-ejaculatory orgasm, there are lots of ways to have sex without actually ejaculating the semen out, without squirting that baby out. We want to keep it. The orgasm, definitely does not deplete your energy source. Of course not, because you still have the semen inside of you. Remember now, what does strength? What creates strength in your body as a man? It's minerals, nutrients in your bloodstream that feed your muscles, that serve as strength in your body. Do I need to repeat that? What serves as strength and energy in your body is minerals, nutrients that feed your muscles, and that shows itself as strength and energy in your body. So when you have a high level of semen, you feel more energetic. It's really just the foods that you eat, and a portion of that is the air that you breathe, the oxygen and everything, but it's the minerals and through the nutrients in your body that translate themselves into energy in your body. And if that does not come out, you still have the energy in your body, baby. In fact, if that weren't the case, then we would not be talking about non-ejaculatory orgasm as an alternative to blowing a hot load. We wouldn't be talking about that. The only reason we talk about, well, you have to learn to have sex without busting a nut is because it doesn't deplete from your energy. You get to have the fun and still walk away with your power inside of you. And I'm telling you, it's one hell of experience to have, because you will have sex with a woman who will have done her best to make you bust a nut, and you still didn't bust that nut. And she's thinking, dang, he's still living with his power. So you had the fun and you're walking away with your power like a boss. You still have all that energy to go on and do what you need to do in your life. So the answer is no. So let's continue our talk on the true perspective of a relapse, or what can we learn from a relapse? How should we really look at a relapse? And if we learn these things, that can help us to curb some of the psychological issues and emotional anguish that we experience after a relapse. It's possible. Okay, so I said the first thing is a relapse just means that you're doing something right. You are retaining. You have taken action in the right direction. You have started a new journey. You are doing something different. It really means that, because when you were on PMO 24/7, like I said, there was no talk about having a relapse. So the fact that you can even say I had a relapse is indirectly saying I'm also doing something good, and that's why I am now calling this experience a relapse. Number 2, a relapse is a learning opportunity. It's not an opportunity to cry, to feel bad about your damn self. It's not an opportunity to put yourself down. It's not an opportunity to feel sorry for yourself. It's a learning opportunity. Matter of fact, feeling bad, feeling sorry for yourself is only going to lead back to another PMO session. Yep. Anytime you feel guilty, anytime you feel bad, anytime you feel sorry, your energy drops, your inner self thinks that you ain't shit. And so therefore, you're going to go and engage in a transaction that's going to make you feel even worse. That's how the universe operates. That's how your system operates. And so it does you better bigging yourself up, feeling good about yourself, because that will lead to more positive experience than to feel bad about yourself. And of course, there are some other issues there. You may have underlying childhood traumas, attachment issues, mama issues, father issues, self-esteem issues that are playing at the bottom. But after a relapse, it's time to learn. It's not time to cry. It's a learning opportunity. And in order for you to learn, then you must find some information, right? You must learn something. And to get information, the best way to do so is to ask some questions. So now I'm going to give you some questions that you can ask after a relapse so you can learn from it. Remember, bro, this is more than just not jerking off. This is more than just not watching porn. This is a whole new world of life. This is a whole new order of life. This is a whole new opportunity to become the best version of ourselves that we can be. I like to say, a matter of fact, prove me wrong if you can, and I probably cannot. Unless a man has learned to establish sexual discipline in his life, it doesn't matter what else he's doing out there. It doesn't matter what books he's reading, what courses he's taking, what degree he's earning, what job he just got. It doesn't matter what skills he's acquiring. PMO or lack of sexual discipline will keep him behind no matter what. Because all it takes is a PMO session. All it takes is a binge session. That's all it takes. And he's going to be sitting on the couch with all that knowledge inside of him. Yes, sir. And he's not going to make the phone calls he needs to make. He's not going to show up for the meetings he needs to show up for. He's not going to reply to that email that's so important because now he's lethargic. So really, doing this NoFap and semen retention and sex energy transmutation work is foundational. This is the foundation of a man's success. And remember now, every man who has had success that can be applauded, that he can be proud of, has had to establish some form of sexual discipline in his life. Man cannot succeed unless he has inherited the money, and that's not even success. Man cannot succeed without first establishing a sexual discipline in his life. So this work is foundational. So I said a relapse is a learning opportunity. So here are some questions. Question number 1 is, well, what has led to the relapse? What led to it? What happened up to the point when you relapsed? What caused it? What are some of the causes? What are some of the things that transpired before the relapse? Because here is why. Usually your sexual apparatus, right, usually is activated more so by some sort of stimuli that you consumed. Some sort of pictures that crossed your mind, some sort of sound that you heard, images that you have seen, some sort of external stimuli coming to your consciousness through the gates of your consciousness. That is your senses, your touch, your smell, your hearing, your sight, and your taste. Because you can taste something, and it might just remind you of an ex's lips or something like that. And that can start the process towards a relapse. And so when we ask the question, what led to the relapse, then we're going to find out, well, who did I talk to? Where did I go? What did I see? Maybe I went to the club. Maybe I was on Instagram. Maybe I was on TikTok. Or maybe I was on Bigo Live. Oh, my God. A friend showed me Bigo Live. I was like, what's this? This is not Instagram. What is this? Anyhow, that is crazy. And so there's always a stimulus. There's always a stimulus that leads to a relapse. There's always some things that happened in your life that triggered you, albeit unconsciously. Those things happened. They happened in real life, but you were unconscious when they were happening. You weren't aware of them. And so they affected you, because the law is what goes in must come out. Whatever has been impressed, that means whatever has been put on you, must be expressed, must come out, must be extrapolated back out. That's the law. So if stimuli go in, what practicing or acting out will come out. And so we asked the question, what led to that? What sexual stimuli was I exposed to? Was it because I was on Instagram? Was it because I was on TikTok? Was it because I was on what are the other ones? Bigo Live. Oh gosh, so many others. But Facebook is no longer a thing. Like I think it's Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and Bigo Live so far until another one crazier one pops up. Oh, well, but I mean, if you're on OnlyFans, then you're basically it's a different story. Yeah, but what sexual stimuli? It could have been the new Cardi B video. It could have been the new City Girl video. It could have been the new Megan These Dumb Stallion video that you watched. It could have been a girl down the street or at the mall or at Walmart or at the grocery store. You just cut that last part of the tail going around the corner and your brain starts wondering, what was that? What could that have been? Oh my God, did you see that? Yeah. So once you can actually trace your relapse back to one specific or several specific events that occurred before the relapse, you're good. You're winning. Because guess what? You're learning. And once you're learning, your brain is being rewired. You are being strengthened. You're more empowered for next time. Because I guarantee you next time when those things happen, you will be more aware of them. You will know what they did to you last time. Another question we can ask is, the location. Where were you? Where were you? Was it at the club? Were you at the club? Were you at a car show? At the bar? Yes. At the lounge? Yes. At a friend's house and some sort of those, black sitcoms. There are some black shows out there like Power and some other shows. Man, don't tell me you watch those shows, bro. They're gonna fuck your brain up. Not only that, they're geared to keep you sit there and watch them and consume them every night. They're made for that, to basically reduce you to nothing or basically just keep you where you are. Not only they're made for that, these people have some of the best psychologists working for them. Some of the best brain neuroscientists working for them to help them understand how to hijack the human attention, how to hijack your brain. And plus, those TV shows don't depict reality. They sort of inflate the reality. It's a fantasy world. That's not how shit really happens in real life. And so you're living their reality, which conflicts with your reality. And basically you're living in an illusion. You're living in the matrix, in an illusion. So we asked the question, where were you, the location, when you were triggered? So if you can find the location, then next time you can avoid it. If you want to love yourself, next time you can avoid the location. Another question that we can ask is, what person were you with? Whose house were you over? Who were you talking to? Who walked by? Who said something sexual? Who sent you a triple X video? They didn't mean any harm. Well, who sent you that video? Who inboxed you that video in that picture? They meant no harm. They were just doing things that regular people do, that especially men do. I've had clients who've had to give up male groups because they belong to a certain WhatsApp group, and a certain whatever other kind of groups, and every once in a while somebody drops a naked picture or a 5-second clip of some kind of woman doing whatever. And guess what? That's a trigger. And my client would be triggered. So they have had to make the decision of, man, you know, I belong to this group for several years, but it's not every once in a while I relapse. And out of 10, 4 times had to do with that group, something they put in the group. That's very important. It's very important for you to know. Yeah. Who? So we talked about what led to the relapse, what happened, what sexual stimuli, what exactly it was, where were you, the location, and what person, who were you with? Who sent you that thing or talked about that thing or got you to watch that video or whatever the case might be? Who on your timeline had that picture repost from their favorite Cardi B post or whatnot? And of course, once you know that, then you have to devise a plan to limit that person's access to you. We don't mean that you're going to cut them off. Maybe you need to still be their friends, but don't get notifications from them, or their posts don't show in your timeline. You understand? Or do something, you'll find what to do. So we're talking about how to bust up, 5 ways to bust up after a relapse, a genuine relapse, that is. The first way was, a relapse means, the true message of a relapse is that you're doing something right. It means that you're no longer practicing PMO as a lifestyle. You are now engaged in nofap and semen retention. It's a good message, because when you were on PMO, you wouldn't call it a relapse. It would just be business as usual. But the fact that you get to call it as a relapse means that you're on the right journey, and you want to keep your attention on that. The second thing was, a relapse is a learning opportunity. It's not an opportunity to cry, to feel bad about yourself, to feel sorry, because feeling sorry about yourself, hating yourself in that moment is always going to overload you more emotionally, and that will get you psychologically unhinged. And a psychologically unhinged man is a man who's going to squirt his semen all over the house. He's unstable. Any unstable man is looking forward to busting out. I guarantee you that. So we don't want to be there. So the third idea is mind over matter. Decide to move on and get back to work. It's a relapse. So what? It's actually a necessary evil on the journey, but that's not where we want to stay. That's not what we want to keep talking about. That's not what we want to keep our focus on. It's gone. It's done. In fact, as soon as the relapse happens, it's already in the past. If it happened last night, it's in the past. So we're going to have to use our sheer willpower to move ourselves forward, saying, look, man, I'm going to be hard with this one. It happened. I lost the energy, not feeling good about it, kind of hurt a little, but hey, I got to focus on the journey, man. I got to get back to the saddle. I got to focus on the journey, man. Really successful people don't think and spend so much time on their failure. We can't keep talking about the relapse, whether to myself or to somebody else. No, get back on the journey. Get back on the road. I'm traveling this road. I'm not traveling a relapse road. I'm traveling a retention road. I'm traveling a nofap road. I just had a relapse, but I am on this journey. Just as when you're traveling and you have a flat tire, you don't make the journey about the flat tire. You try to change it. Or if you didn't don't have a spare, call a one of those roadside assistance service to get you out of there and to do something, get a new tire of something to continue the journey. Yeah, you're gonna tell your friends or call your mom back home and said you had a flat tire. It delayed you for 2 days, not 2 days, 2-3 hours. Yeah, but guess what? You're not gonna do. You're not gonna stay on the phone and make the whole journey about the tire. You're not gonna talk about with your family in the car and other individuals about the flat tire. You're not gonna make that road trip about the flat tire because you will understand that the flat tire was a necessary evil. That tire was bad anyway. That tire was bald on the inside anyway because the car has a bad alignment. You will learn that. You'll be like, well, you know what? I got to be honest with you, bro. That tire was bad anyway. And so we're going to get back on the road and continue the journey because that's the trip that we're on. That's the journey that we're on. And we got to get strong with it. We got to get rough with it. We have to have that tough love with ourselves. I mean, life is really, you got to grab the bull by the motherfucking horns. You have to. You have to grab life. You have to take life. Life is not given to you. You have to make shit work for yourself. Shit is not going to work by itself. You have to say, well, it's behind me, you know, it's done, it's behind me. I gotta move forward. You know? You have to do that. That's self-love too. So you have to move on and get back on the saddle. And by that I mean you have to tell yourself that. You have to tell yourself, well, what I'm gonna do? Like, okay, let's go. It's really the most successful perspective. It's really the most successful decision. It's really because it's a success-minded perspective. It's a perspective that focuses on the success as opposed on the failure. Remember, the majority of us, the majority of regular people, the brains are wired to focus on the failure part. It's kind of natural to us. It's part of the human condition. And you have to teach yourself, you have to rewire your brain to focus on the success part of it. Because just like the self-development teachers like to say, every failure has an equal measure and opportunity of success in it. And that opportunity might just be a learning opportunity. But by the law of polarity, there are two poles. So there's always an opposite pole. So that failure always has an opposite pole success across from it. You just have to find it. Every failure has a success in it. Just have to find it. Does every success has a failure in it? Of course. Because they produce each other. They create each other. Yes, they do. You know, when you get more advanced spiritually and psychologically, you understand that, oh, the two cannot exist without each other. Oh, they work together. We just have to find one in the other. You have to find one in the other. So you have to make it work for yourself. Who else is in the house? Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. Love back to India from America and from my place of birth, Haiti. Yes, sir. We love India. I love India for what it represents to the world, especially the world of technology. India has given a lot of Silicon Valley billionaires and tech guys are from India. Isn't Google CEO from India? He is, right? I don't know. Or his parents? Anyhow, I when I think of the world, when I think of countries in the world, India is one of the, you know, countries of consideration in my mind, and of course spiritually too. A lot of the spiritual teachings that we have, that we mm, that we go to for higher understanding, spiritual understanding, come from India. So I myself, I don't want to keep saying we. I'm saying, but I know for myself. I know for myself. So, and the ladies too. The ladies are beautiful. Don't get me started. Very rich culture. So, what's up, Jihad? What are you saying? You jerked off in a cave in India? Are you from India? You're not from India. What are you saying? Are you saying that you relapsed? This is semen retention at work. Although it's late, at least for where I am. I mean, at least, you know, to get the good number of a good turnout online. But I had to do it. I can go live again tomorrow, but I had to do it tonight because I didn't go live last week. And that's a no. I skipped a week. I have to jump into it the second week. I mean, I did release a few videos last week, so the algorithm is still fine with me, but I didn't go live. And I do love the conversation, the live conversation. And that's semen retention. Although my body would want to say that it's tired after working out and coach. Had 4 coaching sessions back to back. It's like, okay, I'm tired. Let's just take a break. No, we don't need to take a break. We have semen in our body. We don't need to take a break. We don't need to take a break. We're here. And so let's continue our discussion on how to bust up after a relapse. So we are on point number 4, right? And point number 4 says we need to shift our attention from focusing on the relapse to focusing on the retention itself. Give me a second. So we need to switch our attention from focusing on the relapse itself to focusing on the retention. I know it's easy because when you have a relapse, but you also have the retention. That's why you had a relapse. You also had the benefit. You have the benefit. They're both in front of you. Your mind is tricking you. You're only looking at one. You're only looking at the relapse, like I just relapsed. But you also have the retention going on for yourself. So we want to switch our mind after we acknowledge the relapse, after we've asked some questions and learned from it. We want to switch our attention back to the retention, because the retention is the only part of the experience you can capitalize on. You hear me? The retention is the only part of the experience, of the whole experience, that you can capitalize on. You can capitalize on the relapse. You can learn from it so that you capitalize on the retention. What I always say in my videos and on this live and to my clients is capitalize on your retention days. The days that you feel your energy is high, those are the days you hit the gym. Those are the days you sit down and practice your craft, play your instrument, do whatever that you do that make your life beautiful. whatever project you're working on, those are the days that you do practice those projects. Those are the days that you put long hours, because those are the days when you feel the energy the most. Those are the days that when you are high. Sometimes I don't sleep. I probably won't go to bed tonight, till 6, 7 in the morning, because I'm in the zone. I'm in the groove. The energy is high. I worked out. I ate well. I did some coaching. I did some good work, and now I'm doing this live. All that is energy saying, blah, 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 like, yeah, let's just keep going. Okay, so I put the work in. I do what I need to do. I capitalize on the retention days, because as you may have realized, the semen is going to come out one way or another. That's the honest truth. And I know for myself, I tell you nothing but the truth in here on this channel, and comments have confirmed that. Comments and chats have confirmed that. Guys have gone as far as saying this is the #1 semen retention channel on YouTube, or this is the best channel they've watched on YouTube. They've gone as far. It's not quite necessary to hear it, to say it. I'm not competing for that spot. I don't need that spot. What I'm doing is I'm providing information that I wish I had when I was recovering, when I was going through my own shit. That's all I'm doing. I'm helping a brother the way I wish someone was available to help me. I wish a guy would come on live at 10 p.m. and sit down unrushed and have this discourse on a relapse with me. I swear to you, you know how much that shit would have helped me? You kidding me? This guy is sitting behind this whole investment. Man, I have about, in all of these YouTube gears and stuff like that, I'm $6,000 deep. It's a lot of stuff in here, and over time I've been buying stuff because it's in my heart, right? And so, you're kidding me? I wish I had somebody who'd just sit back. It doesn't look like he's rushing, giving me 5 points, 5 ways to capitalize, to understand a relapse. That guy was not available. I tell you what was available? Me going through the trial and error to learn what I'm sharing with you right now. Give me a second. Put that on repeat. Latch it up. It wasn't latched. And so, you're kidding me? So I had to go through the trial and errors myself so I can learn this information that I'm sharing with you. So it took me longer. This is a lot of understanding that you can gain. And so what we do is, after a relapse, we switch our attention. After we acknowledge the relapse, we don't stay there. We don't dwell on it. We don't sulk on it. We don't get angry at ourselves. We definitely do not put ourselves down. We switch our attention back to the retention, because the retention is what you're on the journey for. That's the success. And so you capitalize on the retention days, because that's all you have. I like to tell guys, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Stop thinking of everything else. What you need to do is put work in on your retention days. When you feel the energy high, stop talking about how high you feel. Change your life in those days. Make an impression on the world in those days. Do something for yourself in those days. Do something for your family and your community in those days. Get some projects started and going and finished. Do something. Meditate. Go for a run. Push the most weight on the bench press that day. Do the most sit-ups on that day. Capitalize on your retention days, because truth be told, it's gonna come out soon, very soon, unfortunately, because that's part of the journey. It's only a small amount of guys who can be on this journey without many relapse. Some guys can. I think I have to believe that nature plays a role in those guys, and perhaps those guys maybe were not messed up by high-speed porn, because there was a time we didn't have high-speed porn, and I'm from that era too, where it was VHS, it was on TV or on a VHS, you had to play it, and then DVD later on. But now it's high speed. You can watch 50 clips in 1 hour. Well, 1 hour is probably too much. 50, 2, 3, 4 minute clips. You can watch a 2-minute twerk clip and bust a nut, but you're not gonna do it on that one video. You're gonna watch 50 in a row. That's crazy. You just fucked your brain up. And so guys who got on porn during the era of high-speed internet are worse to recover, because they have the most damage in the brain. But guys like myself, 40, maybe 40 up, or even 30 something, knew an era without high-speed internet, so their brain may not be as damaged as their counterpart. And so you need to remember to switch your attention from the agony of the relapse, from the pain of the relapse. And you're going to have to use your willpower for this one. And self-love, like, I know it's painful and I want to stay here with you, but I'm sorry. You were just a necessary evil, an accident. I need to get back to my baby over here, which is my retention. One day, it's still retention. 2 days, oh yeah, it's still retention. 3 days, it's still retention. It's still valuable. And we see my what I contribute to this area of work in the manosphere is I'm coming from a different perspective. I have a more comprehensive perspective on this. I'm not saying unless you can go 90 days, you ain't doing shit. Fuck, you kidding me? If a man didn't bust a nut for 1 day, that's 1 day he got himself. That's 1 day he had himself. That's 1 day he was stable. That's 1 day he exercised self-love. So after a relapse, we turn our attention from the relapse to our retention. And number 5, lastly, the 5 ways to bust up after a relapse is to capitalize on your retention days. I tell guys that all the time. Capitalize on your retention days. Focus on your retention days, on the days that you are actually retaining, because what we like to do is we overlook the days we are retaining, and as soon as there's a relapse, that's when all the talk comes. Oh, I just relapsed, and how do I avoid a relapse? How do I stop relapsing in the future? How do I do this? How do I do that? But on the day that they did not relapse, they didn't do much for their lives. Hey, you're gonna realize soon, unless you begin to capitalize on your retention days, you probably just carrying water in a calendar. You're probably just carrying water in a basket. You're not really accomplishing much, because very soon you're gonna relapse. And if you didn't use your retention days to do something significant in your life, so then after 1 year, you may still be where you started. Is it safe to say that? Hell yeah. It's safe to say that after 1 year, you may still be where you started. I mean, of course, we know that your brain will have been rewired by itself. Your crown chakra will have been stimulated. Yes, the energy will have traveled upwards. And that's why I'm saying you need to capitalize on your retention days, because you will be more inspired. This thing's hurting. Did some good workout today. Thing. So you need to capitalize on your retention days, not the relapse days. You can't use the relapse days except for learning opportunity, except as a learning opportunity. But your work is to capitalize on the retention days, the days that you feel so great, the days that you feel like your energy is through the roof, the days that when you feel like, I got this. It's the days you need to discipline yourself to get some work done. Those are the days that you need to discipline yourself to get some work done. It's a difficult journey, truth be told. It's not an easy one. And of course, who wants anything easy? I don't know, because I don't know what's easy. I don't know what's difficult. But I can see what's possible. And I know recovering is possible. But I know rewiring our brain is possible. I know these 5 points I just discussed with you are possible. I know the last one, capitalize on your retention days, are possible. And quite frankly, I haven't really heard much about that out there. The focus on capitalizing on your retention days. Make the best of your retention days. The days that you're not relapsing, make the best of them. See what guys do, what I've done is put my life or our lives on autopilot on the good days. On the good days, we are on autopilot. And on the bad days, they got our attention. Our life gets our attention only on bad days. You know that, right? No, what you need to do now is switch your mind to give your life attention both on good and bad days. Don't just go off and do whatever you need to do, you want to do on good days, on your retention days, and feel so bad. And now you're focusing on, I've seen guys on Facebook scrambling, asking questions. Whoa. How do I just relapsed. How do I do this? And how do I do that? Well, you were sleeping, or you put your life on autopilot on the days when you were not relapsing. Now you're scrambling for information. Now you're scrambling to find a way to do something. No. Let's learn to be present. Let's learn to capitalize on our retention days. On the days when you feel like, damn it, my energy is so high. Woo! Okay. Put some work in. Do some work. Maybe that's the day you need to brush up your resume. Maybe that's the day you need to resume that old project or start a new one. Make that phone call. Reach out to that person. Make that business move. Create that piece of content. Whatever it is, practice that instrument. on that day, on the retention day, when you feel high, when the energy is high in you, because that's the only day you can capitalize on. That's the only day you can capitalize on. You can't capitalize on your relapse days. And we don't want to spend too much time on our relapse days, sulking on our relapse, talking about it, crying over it, feeling bad for ourselves. Of course, part of that is because our energy has dropped so low. And now, anytime your energy drops and you operate on a denser energy, it has a harsher reality. Now you have fallen down on the most dense levels of consciousness. Now you hate yourself. Now you're more susceptible to anger, impatience, hey, get the shit out of my way. Now you have, in traffic, you're like, would you just move? You're more susceptible to being bothered by things. And so therefore, you're much harsher on reality. Of course, now your perception of reality is skewed. And you're thinking, fuck, my life is over. I can't get this shit done. I can't get this shit together. I'm weak. I can't believe this. I might as well just give up, because your energy just fell so low. So low. How do I know? Please. I know, because I've been through it for years. But the only difference is I've also learned a lot through those years, because I am a scholar. I don't just go through experiences for going through them. As painful as an experience might be, I'm also learning from it. That's who I am naturally. I draw knowledge, I draw wisdom and insight from whatever experience I'm going through. I've gone through a divorce. I've gone through another romantic breakup where my emotions were involved. I mean, whatever else, I've lost money, businesses. I got fired from that one job, which was very promising. That was the only job I got fired from. Lots of other experiences in life. I've always learned from them and used the wisdom for next time. I'm here because I wish another man was there when I was recovering in the early part of my journey. And so I made the decision that I would become that man then. I wished so much that somebody would just be saying the right thing. Somebody would just help me to have the right perspective. And that somebody was not there. That man was not there. And so I decided that I would become that man. I would come and be your brother. I would come and bring you the holy grail of nofap and semen retention. I know on this channel, perhaps the reason I don't have more than the number of viewers that I have right now, even on this live, is because I'm not talking about female attraction. I don't talk about female attraction. I don't talk about game. And I've been trying not to talk about game because I understand that those things are also distractions, and those things are also part of the addictive personality of men. Because you're still focusing on women entirely. Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to get on semen retention so I can rebuild my masculinity, so that I can increase my testosterone, and so that I can have that magnetism, that presence, and so I can get some girls. That's what you want to do with semen retention? Where you're short circuiting your life. I mean, you could do way more with that. Men are using semen retention to create multi-million-dollar companies. Do you know that once your energy is fixed, once you become magnetic, once you become present, once you have that larger than life presence and intelligence and this beautiful aura and dynamism, that all of a sudden women show up in your life, and you will have your choice. And in fact, you will love yourself so much, you will feel so good, that you'll be like, whoa, I can't pay attention to all of that. Now I have a choice of creme de la creme. That one over there. Yeah, that spiritual one, that Danica Marie type of one over there. Yeah. I love her brain. Yeah. Maybe I can get, I love her brain. I can get some brain from her. That's the one I want to associate with, because her energy is high. She's inspirational. Most women out there are uninspired. They are uninspirational. They are uninspiring. And that's who you want to hang out with. That's where you want to give your energy to. And we're not saying anything bad about them. We're just saying the way society is set up, these women stay and operate on the lowest echelon of consciousness. You may not understand what that means. You may not understand what that means. What that means, they are riddled by survival. So really the main conversations are sex, money, food, work, and babies. Those are survival concerns. So when a man has awakened and he practices semen retention, survival concerns are no longer his top priority, because he has ascended. Now, he talks more about spirituality, harmony, society. How can we participate in the expansion of energy in this society? How can we help society move forward? And so he wants to associate with a like-minded feminine counterpart. And how can we, with our energy, influence and touch those who operate on the lower echelon of consciousness, namely the survival instincts. These people are riddled by anger, competition, hate, comparison, fear. Ooh, that's a big one. Self-loathing, constant reevaluation of themselves, lack of self-confidence, jealousy. And so what I've been proposing and what I propose here is really to build the ultimate man. Not only for yourself, a man that you can be proud of, but a man who can come back and influence society for it to be better. A man who can really understand a woman right now and actually deal with her right now. About a month ago, I think, I had a dealing with a woman. I mean, she let me have it. She went off on me. It was a business dealing. And I only told her, what's wrong with you? I just asked her very casually, whoa, I think you're onto something. Like, what's wrong with you? Instead of me getting worked up in my own emotions in the moment, trying to interact, trying to, I don't know, like defend myself or say something back, I didn't have that motivation. There was no motivation in me to get worked up and say something back to her, because guess what? My brain has been rewired on the spiritual level where I am. My spirit is more concerned with is she okay? I think she's on something. She probably just smoked or something. I think she had just smoked or something. I'm like, oh, is she testing me for this business transaction? Like, is she testing me? And that's all I said. Like, what's wrong with you? And I just stopped there, man. She said so much more, and and I left. I drove off, and I said, oh, I'm proud of myself. I'm like, whoa, that's another opportunity to evaluate where I am. Because really my predominant concern was she needs help. Something is wrong with her, because since I was sincere in whatever happened, there was no reason for her to extremely overreact, if I could say it like that. That's the kind of man we want to build. Well, that's the kind of man that I'm sowing seeds to build. That's the kind of man I come behind these lights and microphone and these equipments to do. That's the kind of man I'm using this channel to help build. You become a good contributor to society. You help change society. You help influence society. Do you know a man on PMO, a man with low energy, a man scattered in his energy, a man who's still finding himself, would have just gone at it with her and let her have it too? And you don't know how far that shit could have gone. Nah, that's not what we want to do, bro. Not no more. So we're really focusing on building the ultimate man. We don't know, I don't want to talk about alpha, betas, alpha, sigma. We want to talk about, we want to build the ultimate man. I seem to fit the sigma description, of course. Because believe you me, listen to me, I'm always in control. Wherever I am, with whoever I'm dealing, I'm always in control. It might look like I'm losing. It might look like I just lost. It might look like I'm in pain. It might look like I'm distraught. Please make no mistake. This brother here is always winning. And he's always in control. Because my consciousness has been expanded enough. I understand enough to know what's going on. And so, sometimes you go somewhere and then this guy comes in, or a couple of them or whatever, and that's what you would label as the alpha, the guy who has the energy to waste, the guy who wants to be the loudest, and the guy who, and like, please, just by doing that, you're not even in control of yourself. You're unaware of what you're doing. You're probably gonna fall under the weight of your own stupidity, because I'm in control, and that's part of the sigma description. And when the sigma male when he acts, everybody gets hit, everybody gets shaken. And so we're focused on building the ultimate man, and we believe that NoFap, semen retention, sex energy transmutation, aka sexual discipline, is the foundation to build a man of character. It's the foundation to build the ultimate man who's going to benefit society, who's going to serve society. And so, as much as I would like to change this channel and start talking about some of the things, I don't want this message, the sexual discipline message, to get lost in other topics. And so I'm just going to start another channel for more general type of topics and work, because this is where a man would come or will come to establish his sexual identity, his sexual discipline, to make himself strong, to find himself, to connect with himself. Because unless your sexual energy is high, you cannot connect with yourself. You don't know who you are. You are a lost man. You are a lost cause, therefore. But when your sexual energy is high, you know who you are. You know you are the king. You know you are the beast. But you also know that you are nurturing, or you will know that you are also nurturing. You will also know you don't have to go around making a whole bunch of loud noises and to convey a message. No, you just walk through those doors and everybody will know. A man of character just walked in. They may not say it, and most of them will not say it, but they will know a significant man just walked in. They will know a powerful man just walked in. I guarantee you, they will know that. They will know this man who just walked in needs to be respected. And they're going to show the respect. They will want to help you if you need help. Have you ever had women let you go and check out first? Have you ever had women open doors for you and hold doors for you? Huh. You are coming behind her. She opens the door and holds the door for you. Have you ever had women at restaurants and places where you need to pay for food and like, have a good day? Have you ever ordered some food? You've already paid for, whatever the original order was, and you just want to add some extra whatever. And she just went in the back and bring it back and like, have a good day. God bless you. It was good seeing you. Have women been saying it was good seeing you? Or even men. Or it's good seeing you. We're glad to have you here today. And I'm saying like in unusual settings like a restaurant. People at the restaurant don't walk around saying it's good to have you today. That's unusual. But not for you, not for your world, not for your consciousness, not for your level of consciousness, not for the men that you have become. Listen to me, all my life, I've been looking for personal power. I only realized that 4 years ago. You know what happened 4 years ago? Semen retention happened. I want to say almost 5 years. I guess March will make it 5 years. That's what also happened. And I realized, all my life, what I've been looking for is actually personal power. I've been looking to master myself. I've been looking to master my urges. I've been looking to master the beast within. I've been looking to understand my psyche. I've been looking to be present and sit my ass right here and stay here instead of being all over the places. I've been looking to find that control where when I feel horny, I wouldn't just get in my car and roam the street in hope of finding a woman who would want to do one night stand. So up to that point, all I wanted to do in my life was to find that power to have a good thought and stay on that thought. As opposed to where I had a thought, a good thought, it disappears. Now I'm bombarded by negative thoughts and I'm all over the places. I don't know what's going on in my life. No. I wanted to know exactly what was going on in my life. So I'm happy to report that it's been like that for a number of years. And that's why I'm here. Of course, that's the only way that I've been able to be here. Because I can keep one thought and work on that thought for a long time. That's what semen retention promises you, to find yourself, and you will find women. And that's why I don't talk about female attraction here. Why? I'll tell you what happened tonight at the store that I'm a usual shopper. In fact, that's where lately I've been getting my dinner from. They have some good vegetables and salmon and grilled chicken and grilled salmon and stuff like that. So, a good dinner, $12, $14, $15. I mean, I'm saying good dinner, like healthy to the max. And I mostly do one meal a day now. Try it. Beautiful. But of course, you got to take vitamins and other stuff to help curb your not appetite, cravings, to keep you from having cravings. But it's a beautiful experience. And so this young lady, she once helped me order some ginseng for me, because that store, it was easy for me at one point in time to find ginseng, and some kind of new manager stopped ordering the amount and I couldn't find the bags no more. So I told her I buy bags of ginseng every month, and please. And she said, I'm going to make sure from this point on that I always have enough. And then she asked me what I take them for. Of course, like everybody else, she thought I took them for energy only. I told her no, really energy is a secondary benefit from ginseng. The primary benefit of ginseng is hormonal balance. Ginseng helps balance your hormones, male and female. In fact, ginseng has helped women level out or fix their menstruation problems, their anxiety issues, bowel movement issues. I mean, those roots can help you do so much. Anyhow, and she said that she will start taking them. She did. So I continued going to the store, and then we just had a conversation at one time, right? It seems like she would be right next door, right next to the next aisle every time I would be there. Well, most times. Not every time, not most times. So maybe 50% of the times since that initial conversation, right? She works there. And she would be passing by me right there in that aisle. She would just pops out of nowhere. And she looks all right. She looks all right. Good vibe, because I'll pick up the bad vibe. And tonight, and of course, another encounter was I had some salmon from there, and she had some other stuff she bought. She was right next to me getting ready to check out. And she asked me why I was eating the salmon. So I explained to her, and she put whatever she was eating, she was going to buy down and went for some salmon. So tonight I was getting salmon again, but there was no salmon. And she came over and she asked, "You guys don't have any salmon?" They said no. I said, "Whoa, they had only one last piece. I got it, and I wouldn't give it to you." She said, "Why not?" I said, "Because I need to have it. I need to eat the last piece so I can take care of you, so I can be present to take care of the world. I come first. I'll feed myself first. I won't give you the last piece. I'll have it." She said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I come first. Unless I exist, unless I have strength, unless I have energy, I cannot serve the world. I cannot do anything for you. I cannot go fetch food for you." And she said, "You're right. You come first." And she walked away, only to come and meet me at another aisle. Anyhow, fast forward, we exchanged information and blah, 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 blah. Very interesting young lady. She sells, anyhow, what am I saying is, that's what happens. High quality, interesting, great spirit, grounded, spiritual, leveled, very beautiful will seek your attention, will be interested in talking to you more. So why would we even be concerned talking about female attraction? But I understand those guys are making money off you. They're coaching you. They're selling something. Of course, those videos get a lot of views, and they're making money off ads. I can do that easily. I swear to you, I'm an Aquarius, bro. I'm already I have the gift of gab, and I can get into this thing and make money. But I also have to do something that moves society forward. If not, why doing it? I'm not going to do it because it doesn't sit with my spirit. And so the few guys who would be blessed by my work are just the few guys who are going to be here. But in this manosphere, there are so many men hashing the same situation. You see a story on Dr. BOA. It's also on Anthony Spade. It's also on O'Shea, my man. Or if it's on O'Shea, it's also on those guys. It's also on so many other guys. The same story is making rounds on YouTube, getting that ad money. And those stories don't really teach anything. After you watch them, they don't change your perspective. You don't have a better psychological tool. They don't leave you with a better spiritual and mental tool, an intellectual tool. They don't. They're not mental models. They don't help you change your perspective of the world. All they do, they feed your lower instincts for survival. Your need to know the gossip. Your need to know the juice. Your need to know the 411. Yes, you have a need for that. I finally find out why Cardi B did this. And that is exactly what I needed to feel more alive. So that's the instinct in you that they're feeding, and they're making money off of it. It's heartbreaking for the men who truly want to advance society. But for those guys, it's a way to make money. Why not? You know? And so, in conclusion, my goal is to help build the ultimate man, as I have been building the ultimate man in myself. And that starts with sexual discipline. Sexual discipline. I cannot tell you, bro. The best gift, whether you want to say the universe has given me or I have given myself, is this journey. Just the sheer sense of presence, of personal power, of being in control of yourself, of being able to make the right decision despite the emotions you're feeling. I don't know for you, bro, but being indifferent to a woman who clearly is offering me sex, and she's not bad looking. I know there's probably a good whap somewhere between them thick thighs, and I love thick thighs. Not that I don't love thin thighs, but you know, they're all good. They're all creatures of the universe. They're all pretty in their own sense. You can do something different with each one of them. Don't get me started, because on semen retention, when you learn to have NEO, non-ejaculatory orgasm, and you're having sex, you're a beast. Not only you can go for a long time, as you already know, but you get to enjoy the woman's presence. You get to enjoy her skin and touch her, and you see her from a different light because your energy is high. You really look at her as a cosmic being. Like, that's different than lust. So for me, being able to be indifferent, being in, like, you know, she's talking sexual language, sexual innuendos. They're more than innuendos, like direct statements. I want to F you. I want to see what you carry down there, and I want to swallow it. I want to see what color it is, white or yellow. Somebody says if your shit is yellow, then you're sick. Somebody left a comment on the video, on the live, because I did tell that. I've told that story before. Recently, because that's recent. I meant to tell her my shit is white, but I was like, nah, let's not even say that. It's just, but being able to be indifferent to that, that is, laugh at it, entertain the conversation, and take no action. Because really, she's not gonna take action. She's hyping me up to take the action. But I also know what I'm carrying now. My energy is precious. My semen is precious. My words are precious. My time, my attention is precious. And so I just entertain it for a few minutes and then just let it go. You know how many women I've let go because they want my juice? They tell me straight up, when you decide to let that juice out, you can have all this. And I'm telling you, stuff that I would wanna murder. But I just behave indifferently towards it because she makes her goal clear. I give you all this, like, I wanna give it to you, and I want all this you're carrying. I want all this, but you gotta give me some. You gotta put some on my face. You gotta put some on my, titties, and you gotta put some in my mouth. She wants that semen. I've also had women, this one particular woman, after sex, although I did tell her what I was on and she agreed, and we had a blast, and she did her best indirectly to get me to bust. I didn't, and she went home and called me. I picked up the phone and she was like, whoa, 30, 37, 37, 38 or 37-year-old? What did I do to you? How are you gonna do this? This is our first time together. Something that I so deserve. Can't you see what you just had? Don't you see me? Yeah, I see you, because she was my manager at work, whatever job I had. Oh, she was bad. And you know how I got her? I swear to you, behave indifferently. She always was in my quarter. Wherever I was in that particular area, she was there. Always called me into the office. I mean, I was so indifferent, it wasn't a joke. But I entertained other women that I was not interested in. I really wanted to hit that. But that's the one that I did not see, like total indifference to her. But the ones that I would never do, and you always catch me while talking to them. Of course, it worked. Anyhow, what I'm saying is, for me, just being able to be indifferent to that, just being able to say no. Like, I don't say no with my mouth. I don't say no. It's almost like I'm very busy. I'm working on several projects. I really have this business I'm getting off the ground. The time will come. And of course, if she says some other things, I entertain them again. Yeah, like, can't wait to slap your face with it. I entertain it. And as soon as I hang up that phone, or as soon as that I sent that last text, or however the conversation stops, it disappears out of my mind. I swear to you. I swear to you. Because I know all my life, this is what I've been looking for. Personal power to build the ultimate man. And right now, I have begun for a couple of years now to be the ultimate man. And I must stay here. It gets hard sometimes. Yeah. My mind tries to trick me sometimes. Yeah. But you know what I do sometimes? The way I deal with my mind is like Mr. Beans. Like, trying to get the best of me? Fuck you. I ain't listening to that. I ain't going back there. I ain't making that phone call. I ain't sending that DM. I ain't texting. I ain't thinking about that. I'm not. I'm gonna keep going. Because you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Give me a second. Let me get the right. Here is why. Because I'm on the right journey. I'm on the right path.
You are on the right path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery, the journey of self-love, the journey of self-empowerment. Stay on this journey.
That's why. Because I'm on the right path. I'm on the right journey. The journey of self-love, the journey of self-empowerment. And I make sure I stay on the journey. So one of the best things, if not the best thing, and I don't think that shit is arguable, the best thing that I can do with my life is to share these ideas with somebody else. Male or female. I mean, for the purpose of this channel, Men's Superpower is with men. But I have coached a lot of women too, bro. Married women, single women. I was on a call yesterday, well, Sunday, with some beautiful ladies from Europe. It was, I was a guest. Of course, I was the only man there. And all the questions, I was talking about Men's Superpower, my work here on YouTube and with you guys, and what that work is there. Of course, these ladies are married, most of them. And so, give me a second. I just want to show you something. And I said, and I was asked the question, do you work with women too? Because they're like, well, we need to understand. It seems like you have wisdom for us too. You have understanding for us too. I said, yes, I do coach women too, but I only charge men. And of course, I was laughing. Everybody was laughing. I don't know why, but I only charge men, but I coach women too. And of course, when I got off the call, I've been thinking to myself, although I said that it was true, and why I need to change my business, and why have I not been charging women for coaching? But women experience the same issues, and of course, they have different issues too. But the goal here, the best thing I can do with my life, is to share the wisdom that I have acquired throughout the years. That's the best thing that I can do with my life. The best thing that you can also do with your life. You may not know it yet, but the best thing you can do with your life is share. Whoa, why is this so big? There we go. Is share your knowledge, your information with the world. We see it's nothing but women here sharing. And here I was invited, and that was just the beginning with them, sharing the gospel of semen retention, no fab and sex energy transmutation. And these ladies were curious and very happy to hear what makes a man strong and what makes a man powerful and what work needs to be done in a man to get him right. And as somebody said, whoa, most of these ladies are so attentive. Only one that doesn't look as attentive, but the rest, they look so attentive and smiling at the same time. Well, that's what the presence does. That's what the knowledge does. That's what your energy does. That's what this journey promises. When you're speaking, you command attention. They have to listen because you're delivering things they not only haven't heard, but the medium through which the power that's coming as you speak. Jesus said, my words are spirits. Words are spirits. As you speak, spirits are coming out of your mouth, are coming from you, traveling the consciousness medium and hit the person's consciousness. So if your energy is high, if your energy is pure, they receive you differently. You make instant influence on them. And so not only the leader can't wait to invite me back, one of them or two of them have personal podcasts. Amazing work they're doing with women, just like I'm doing with men here. You know, they're doing their own work. You know that. And I've already gotten invitations to go speak and discuss further on this work and their own work. I don't know for you, but if I wasn't on NoFap and semen retention, some of these things that I've been doing, I would not have been able to do them. This is what this journey promises. And so I would do you a disservice if I come here talking about how to chase girls, how to win with girls, how to make a girl fall in love with you, how to make a girl chase you. Oh my God, all these how-to videos. And they get 30,000 views in 6 hours. They got you. Imagine if every 1,000 view is $15. That's $450 for that one video. Yeah. And yeah, that's $450. I was right. Dang. That's $450 in 6 hours for one video. And what does the video say? How to make a girl fall in love with you. How to make her chase you. How to, this one psychological trick to make her fall in love. You want to make a girl fall in love with you using this psychological trick? I guarantee you that psychological trick will not work all the time, because that's the nature of consciousness. As her consciousness expands, yours expands, some old tricks won't work on her. And then, of course, all this operation happens at the ego level. That's not where you need to be, especially on this journey. But anyhow, appreciate you, brothers, the few of you who are still here. And of course, you know, I understand it's late, but I had to come on here for myself, because I didn't go live last week, although I uploaded 3 videos. And I wanted to start this week with a live, although I didn't get to it until 10 something due to my coaching sessions. But it's still a great day. It's morning somewhere. Somebody's up somewhere. Just like money is always out there waiting for somebody to earn it. Somebody's always out there waiting to hear a good word. And so my Monday is accomplished by doing this live, and it's Tuesday morning now. So thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for your likes. A few chats. King mode activated. Yes, sir. Nico T. Appreciate that. Preach, bro, of course. Love from India. Keep it up, bro. Appreciate the encouragement. It's nothing but love. So who is always mad here? Boss at home? No. If these guys were here, they would have said something. Because these guys, you know. If you are new here, if that's your first time, here is the work that I do. But first, if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing. I have nothing but practical insights and information for you if you are getting on NoFap and semen retention. If you browse my channel, I guarantee you will find videos that will help you on any stage that you may be on this journey, because I covered this journey entirely, because this journey is really made up of 3 stages, and I have covered all of the 3 stages. So do yourself a favor, subscribe, and also check my link for Patreon for a coaching opportunity with me. The guys that I have been coaching, their lives are being changed and expanded daily. I mean daily. So you could be one of them. If you're ready, I'm ready. Because I am excited and thrilled to help my brothers to become alive, dynamic, present, jovial, free as I am. That is my goal, to help you become dynamic, present, powerful, jovial, free as I am. Listen to me, bro. I have found my true power on this journey, okay? That's the promise for you. I have found myself and my true power. Here, it has changed my entire perspective. I have 2 children. Well, they're young adults. I'm 40. Keep that in mind. So, but if I didn't, I probably would not. If I didn't have, I probably would not have right now. It's so many things that I've had to adjust in my own thinking. Some of them are still in process to, like, do I want to cohabit? Do I want to get married? Oh, that would be again. Do I want to have an exclusive relationship? It's a lot of things that would put a demand on my sexual energy. High demand on my sexual energy. That's the whole consideration. That the whole consideration is these things would put a high demand on my sexual energy. Do I want that? Because truth of the matter is, I can still get milk for free without buying the cow and nurturing the cow in a house. Milk is everywhere. I can still be, what that means is I can still be sexually satisfied. That's what it means. And of course, by buying the car, I don't mean by buying the woman. No. It, of course, it's an expression. You understand it, right? That's still in the making. I'm still processing that, because I'm also aware that there are conscious women out there who know the value of the semen. So that's the kind of woman that I have switched my attention to. There are women out there who help their men to keep their semen. Oh, did he say that? Yes, I said that. There are women out there who know the value of the semen, the men's semen, and they help their men to keep their semen. Those women practice tantric practices. They practice tantra, and they are in tune with their energy. They are in tune with their vagina, and these women are beautiful. In fact, yeah, like the group that I spoke with yesterday and the picture that I put on the screen, these women are like that. They are at that level. And there are a ton more somewhere out there. So those are the kind of women that I've turned my attention to. They're not semen guzzlers. They understand that a man's vitality is his semen. They understand that's the source of his power. They understand that. And so perhaps, maybe not perhaps, that's the kind to cohabit with. That's the kind to be exclusive with. Should I want to be exclusive? But this journey has changed my whole worldview, my whole perspective on this life. And it's good. It's good. Because whoever said that an unexamined life is not worth living was probably a wise man. He probably was a philosopher. But yeah, on semen retention, you live an examined life, and it's a beautiful life. Listen to me. I told you just now, I'm always in control. And this is not an egotistical statement. I don't mean like I'm always scrambling, trying to be in control. No, not that kind of control. It doesn't stem from a survival instinct. It doesn't stem from a fear instinct. No. This control is a higher consciousness type of control. I'm always aware of what's going on in my life. I'm always present. My intuition is high. I know what you may be up to. You will come to me. I told you that story, right? The woman I was living with, I was on my way home. I turned the corner and the voice said, she's not home and she's not at work. And she's not coming back tonight. I swear to you. And that's just one of the examples, right? I like to tell this story because it relates to a woman, and women and men would want to have that power. Not over the woman, but it's a personal power. I turned the corner in my car, in my newer Genesis G80, panoramic sunroof, beautiful, feel good, nice car. And the voice says, she's not at work, she's not home, and she's not coming home tonight. And it was true. I called, I texted, she called back, and of course she was distraught because, oh, what? How do you? So you're not here, you're not at work, and you're not coming home. You're not close enough to come home. You can't come home right now. Well, I'm not lying to you. Yes, I'm not home. So what do you mean you're not lying to me? I didn't call you to ask you. I called you to tell you. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I'm telling you that I'm not at work. Whoa, you're not telling me that you're not at work because you didn't initially call me. I initially called you. Anyhow, that's one of the examples. You always know what is coming your way, what people may be up to. And that, my friend, is an enormous power to have. Listen to me. It's an enormous power to have. You will know who's genuine and who's not. You will know who's weak. You will know who is sincere, but at the same time is struggling. That's a different kind of person. And you will still associate with them. They're sincere in their desires, in their mindset, in their worldview, but they're struggling. They have a lot of shadow work to do. You still choose to associate with that person because they're sincere. They do have a sincerity of heart, but they're just struggling. They have a lot of weaknesses. They may still push you to flight, but you know that, right? You will also know who genuinely likes you, who secretly likes you too, and who wants to see you succeed and who not. You know who's lying to you. It's a tremendous power to have. And of course, you will become mysterious. That means that makes you mysterious, right? Somebody lies to your face and you go along with the lie. I got to be honest with you. I think the last time I let someone know that I caught them in a lie was with an ex, last relationship I was in. Since then, everybody else, I just go along with it. Yeah, why not? Because there's a purpose for it, right? Yeah, I go along with it. And that's the control I talk about. Imagine you tell me a lie. I know it's a lie, but I go along with it. You're in trouble. Because you're thinking, because now you're living the lie. Because you're thinking, you got me. And maybe you're making plans to tell me more lies in the future. And I'm here smiling when I'm driving by myself, laughing at you, saying to myself, okay, he or she thought she got me because I'm going along with the lie. It's all good. I'm the one in control. Because in your little consciousness, you're thinking, you got me with the lie, but you didn't. So who's in control, you or me? I'm in control. I think it's time to play my song that I always play for you. I think this song was written by a man on semen retention. This song, the words, I'm going to let you hear the lyrics, right? I've had to license this song. I've had to pay to license it so I can play wherever I want for 1 year. And it's only been a number of months. So it's not even 4 months yet. So I have a good way to go in 2020 to play this song. If you've been here before, if you have heard it before, because some of the guys on my lives, I've been like, man, this has become our favorite song. This is my semen retention song. It's not my song, but listen to the lyrics, listen to the words, and then I come back to close with you.
All eyes on the way I vibe when I walk into the room. Wind blows underneath the soles of my brand new pair of shoes. I got the attention. I'm on a mission. No sweat in the way I step. I got a fresh new attitude. Oh my, my, my. Oh my, my, my. Call me a king. You can buy me a crown. Oh my, my, my. Oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up. And this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. New look, got the ladies shook. New watch saying it's my time. These magazines wanna feature me, cause they know I'm on the rise. Get the attention, I'm on a mission.
Cause ever since I fit that switch, my power can't be denied.
Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, you can buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. Get the attention.
Imagine vibing at 1 in the morning, still drinking coffee, and vibing this high, either closing the day before or starting another day. I don't know which one I'm doing. I don't know.
And And this is my world now.
I don't know which one I'm doing. Am I closing Monday? Or am I starting Tuesday? It doesn't matter. Because these days, I'm unaware of time and day. Oh, I still handle business though. But I'm unaware of the ego attachment to time. There is an ego attachment to time that has to do with survival. The ego want to make sure that we get time. Like, I want to make sure I know this is freaking Monday and it's 5:30 p.m. Nah, you're going to lose that. You're going to lose that. You're just going to know that it's just time to do work. It's just time to be alive. It's just time to retain. It's just time to be powerful. It's just time to contain yourself. It's just time to influence the world. It's just time to be a great man. It's time to elevate. It's time to purify your consciousness. It's time to do shadow work. It's time to stop jerking off. That's what you will know. You'll just know that's the time it is. I mean, I don't care. The preoccupation to I gotta go to bed, like I gotta go to sleep. No, we ain't got that preoccupation no more. Whatever time we get sleepy, and whatever time comes to go to sleep, that's when we'll go to sleep. Once I wake up, the bed never sees me again. I don't even sit on the bed after I wake up until it's time to go to sleep. Because my only dealing with the bed is sleep. And so it's always time to work on our mind. It's always time to work on our spirit. It's always time to build the ultimate man. It's always time, because the world is suffering, guys. That's why I'm doing this work. The world is suffering. Men and women, elderly, everybody's suffering out there. The world is crazy. I remember when I didn't used to think the world was crazy. When I met my ex, she told me that she had mental issues or whatever. Anyhow, when she told me that the world was crazy, I thought, like, she saw the world crazy. Like, I'm like, I mean, you told me you have mental issues, so if you tell me the world is crazy, well, maybe it's the world that you're in. I never told her that. I mean, that would be harsh. Although I'm sure I've said a lot of harsher things to her. Yeah, that's what we do when we are unconscious, Yeah, and that's a confession there too. And that's what a great man does in awakened individual. And so a few years later now, here I am saying, it's a crazy world out there. It's a crazy world out there. And so the world is suffering. The world needs you. The world needs men who will discipline themselves sexually. The world needs men who would seek ways to restrain themselves so they can develop their best power, so they can develop their gifts and their talents to come and bless the world. Remember, you have gifts and talents inside of you that the world is waiting to be blessed by. The next company, if you don't start it, the people won't be blessed. The next phone, technology, you name it. The next YouTube channel, whatever topics you are well versed in, whatever your area you have expertise in, unless you step up to the plate and put your work out there and touch lives, those people will suffer on you. I know it's very conceptual. You're thinking, well, there are so many other people out there teaching people. So what if I'm not there? It's not like anybody's missing nothing. That's what you think. It's because it's because your consciousness has not been expanded enough to understand that, to see how things are interconnected. And so, yes, they will suffer if you're not out there giving them your gifts. So your gift is needed out there. And the only way you can you can give your gift is by developing yourself. That's the only way you can give your gift. You have to plug your leaks. And the primary leaks you have to plug is your sexual energy leaks to become whole. Yes. And then you can develop your gifts and your talents to bless people, to bless the world. And so, my friend, thank you for being here. The number of you who have stayed all the way till this moment, I know it's morning somewhere. Somebody would be here anyhow, wherever you are, whatever country you tune in from. I appreciate you. There we go. Somebody just oh, there was a question to answer. Oh man, you gotta answer that question, bro. You can't just go like that. These people wanna ask you questions. And then there's a compliment too. We're getting to you. We're gonna get to you. Merca, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Merca, more like Merca, right? Castellan. Can women do retention? They won't do semen retention, but they will do energy conservation and sexual energy conservation, because sexual energy is a umbrella term that holds semen underneath it. So even if somebody would say, well, they have semen, not like us. I don't, we're talking about the sperm, the thing that we squirt out, our juice. Of course, they're not doing that, but they can conserve sex energy. When they conserve sex energy, that means they abstain from touching themselves and also from having sex, right? I hope you know that women have a lot of issues out there too, right? With all these toys, right? I hope you know that. I hope you know that women, I hope you know that a woman's porn addiction can potentially be harder than yours, right? I know I'm going to go back, but just some parentheses here. I hope you know that, right? Because when we watch porn, we just pull out our stick and beat that shit up and squirt that juice out. We're done. Those women are using toys. They're buying dildos, they're riding dildos, they're buying butt plugs. They're doing all kind of stuff. And it gets crazier because now they not only have to stop the porn, they have to get rid of the toys. They have to recondition the body because their cells are looking forward to their toys. Women are doing DP with toys. If you don't know what DP means, go look it up. With toys, well, double penetration with toys. We're talking about crazy level of pleasure. Okay, let's go back to the main answer. And so when they conserve that energy, they build the sexual tension, which of course makes them more alive, they glow, they feel more pure and more connected and more present, just like us. Now they may not feel, they don't have the testosterone where we feel like we need to go to the gym and we need to run 5 miles in 40 minutes, and they may not have that, but they do ascend when they conserve their sexual energy, when they withhold from sexual activities and practices. So that's the retention that they do. They do sex energy conservation, not quite semen retention. But yes, they can do the same thing. In terms of results, they get the same results too. We have had celebrities who have said that while they were working on that album, that movie, that this and that, sex was the primary thing they had to give up. And also drinking and stuff like that. So anything that can impair, because remember now, sex is a huge distraction. That's what you are. You want that. Once you have it, you're fucked up. You're off course for a minute. Both men and women. I mean, men have that physical energy left, but a woman after a good fuck, she wants to sleep too. She wakes up the next day like, yeah, I don't know. He tore me up last night, so I feel something in my guts. Women be going to work saying, well, my girls at work said that thing I'm feeling in my belly is you dug my guts out. It's you going all deep inside of me. Or I couldn't sit straight on my chair. I had to be on the edge of the seat. I mean, or I still have a light headache because they experience these kind of things. But so they get off course too. So by the reports of those women who told us that they had to give up sexual activities, while working on the project, we know it's the same thing for them too. We can tell women who are polarized, that is women who are very feminine. Oh, by the way, let's stop the music, because this is a true teaching moment. By the way, the primary reason that you have all of these masculine women out there, oh my God, is he going to say it? Yeah, he's going to say it. Those are women who have excessively depleted their sex energy, because their sex energy is going to make them more feminine, more sensitive, more present, more beautiful, more jovial, more like a butterfly walking around. And of course, these women are pleasing themselves a lot. There's a certain limitation. There's a certain point where they do it past that, it does the same thing with us. Because really, all we are advocating is excessive. What we are fighting against is excessive ejaculation, not ejaculation itself. So the same thing for a woman. We're not talking about not playing with toys. We're saying excessive doing it. There are women squirting 2-3 times a night, doing DP by themselves. Yeah. And so that desensitizes them. The excess of it. And so, although some women do that as an act of expression of their femininity, the excess of it brings them on the other side, which is the masculine side. Although they do it to express their femininity, because now they're sexually desensitized to their counterpart, which is who? Us, men. Because if she's always sexually satisfied, when she's outside, her interaction with you is very masculine, because she's not feeling you sexually. Whether it's business, it doesn't matter what setting. She doesn't feel you sexually. So she doesn't need to be feminine, and she's not even thinking that. All that happens naturally. In fact, she's just looking forward to having another session with herself. But when women who conserve their sex energy are more sexually polarized. They're more feminine. They glow. Their bodies are more pronounced. Like when you look at them, you're like, you're well-rounded, mommy. Something about your hips or something. But that's the same woman. When she was excessively playing with herself, you couldn't see that. You couldn't do that. You couldn't see that feminine aura in her. And we know that to be true. We know these women go home and have a blast excessively. We're talking about excess. Excess is what we're talking about. And so these women walk around very masculine, just like men. We're talking about excess, who excessively ejaculate, walk around how? Feminine. Yes, because they lose that masculine energy that make them polarize. So imagine, you know that when you were on PMO, or if you still are, when you're talking to a woman, you're not sexually polarized. So you don't naturally feel all masculine. You're not sending her sexual vibes by the way you look at her. You're not sending her sexual vibes by your thoughts. You're just talking to her because you're low on energy. You're low on sex energy anyway. You don't have no sexual vibes to send nobody. You know, while you're talking to her and you're wearing that suit, your dick is not getting hard underneath. So you're not sending no sexual vibe. When you're home thinking about her, visualizing her, your dick doesn't get hard. So you're not sending any sexual vibe. So you're very feminine. It's the same way. When these women stay satisfied sexually, they have no sexual vibe to send you. Although you may want to have sex with them just because they're women, you know, they have a vagina, but she doesn't necessarily emit that feminine vibe. That was a long discourse for a question. And yes, this is this guy. And I have embodied that. I have accepted that shit. That's how people learn from me. That's how I get my best understanding out. It's my way, it's my type. I have accepted that shit. And this is it. I've had ex-girlfriends who told me I talk too much. But guess what? The best speakers in the world have said the same thing. They said all my life, my exes and even friends or family members have told me I talk too much. But guess what? It's because God or the universe put a lot of wisdom in me. I was always running my mouth very loud. But they all were learning, though. They did not want me to talk a lot because they envy what I had. They didn't want me to teach other people. But they were learning. They weren't saying I talk too much because they weren't learning. Trust me, every last one of them got something from me. And they always tell me, but oh, you talk too much. We talk too loud. You talk too much. I said, no problem. It's my gift. I need to go in the world. I'm not going to dim my light because somebody's going to sit down and listen to me for 2 hours. And they're going to learn. They're going to walk away with some wisdom. They're going to walk away with a new perspective. So I have embodied this shit. So I know when you ask me a question, I go for it. And that's not even on here. It's in real life too. In real life, you probably would have already walked away. But the person who really wants the knowledge sits and listens. This is the journey, bro. This is the journey. So my brother here says, I don't know if that's, I like your energy, man. I'm starting in this lifestyle. Yeah. Welcome, brother. Where's my, there we go. Welcome to this journey. It's a beautiful journey. You're going to learn a lot. It's going to bless you. I would not trade this journey for anything else. I mean, what's there to trade this for when this can help me and will help me to get anything else? Well, what else do I need to get? I mean, I desire a suitable, good female friend. I'm an Aquarius. I have to be friend first. Not friend zoned. You can't friend zone me because I see further. I'm in control. And oh, by the way, if you want to know anything about friend zone, the best way not to get friend zoned by a woman is to friend zone her. That's what you got to do. How you do it? It's so interesting because I was teaching this in my own mind by myself. I was driving and I was speaking it out, I think. And I pictured myself teaching that on the live. And here I am. Nobody asked me. The best way not to get friend zoned ever is to make the woman you're seeking to get or lay with your friend. You friends on her. Oh, did he say? Yes. Remember what I told you earlier? If you're still here, some of the guys who heard that story, when I really want a bad chick, She's the one I pay the least attention to. She's the one I friend zone. She's the one I don't want to know if she's dating nobody. We don't talk anything that has to do with men and women. Between me and her, it's just regular life. And she can't stand that because she's all this, and this guy seems to be oblivious to that. We need to wake this mofo up because he's blind because he's not seeing all this. All these sexual innuendos, all these sexual jokes, all these indirect messages I've sent to this guy, but that mofo is sleeping. Is he gay or something? Now she goes on a mission to wake you up, to make you see her. And if you're on your game, by the time she gets halfway through that, you've already murdered that thing. Now, that's simply for just sex, okay? Not relationship. But, and of course, you have to know female nature. You have to know we are two different beasts. We don't think the same way. Some women have learned how men think. And it's our responsibility to learn how women think. And like how, not by thinking, we don't mean how they choose to think, how they come wired in the world. I like to tell my guys being my clients and friends too, or people on the road, guys on the road, if you can tap into the unconscious programming, that means the factory setting of a woman, the way she comes into the world, you will be winning. Yeah. Because what happens is we're dealing with women from the perspective of what we've learned from society. Nah. You don't chase a woman. Because the way she comes is she gives you choosing signals. You respond to the signals, you advance towards her, you make who you are known, and then you sort of disappeared. But really, you're just focusing on your life. You're just important in your own life. And then she thinks to herself, oh, he's doing stuff. He's not like the others. He's not like everybody else is in my DM. Everybody else is on my phone, but he's not. Whoa. Wait, then he needs to see me then. And then this is where the real story begins now. She now goes on a mission. She's on a mission to make you see her now. Man, I've been saying I don't want to make this channel about game because I do have a lot of game, but I don't want the semen retention message to get drawn out or to get lost in these kind of teachings. But every once in a while I can drop some gems, right? And so she goes on a mission to get that valuable man, to get his attention. And then this is it. We have to learn how they come, the default setting. And that's how I operate with a woman right now. The default setting she comes with. Not what society has told her, not what society has told me about her. What I know she comes in this world as, what she's wired for. That's what I tap into. I tell you, man, I get dykes interested in me. I mean, lesbian, the masculine one in the lesbian couple. When she's talking to me, she's feminine. Have you heard that before? There are some lesbians out there, hardcore. When she's talking to a certain men, she's the feminine. She's a woman with him. She's all girly with him. And she might even go as far as effing him. I have professional women. And of course, this has not always been the case. You got to understand that. It's the new men. Professional women. All hard, all professional and all this. On the phone, you would think she's my girlfriend. Hello? Well, okay, well, I mean, sweet, like, on a date or spending time, sweet, like, really. But that's not always been the case because my energy, default energy now, taps into her default energy, and that's the right combination because we're all operating into the default energy. She has no choice but to be her feminine self because I am my masculine self. It's unconscious. And so the way not to get friend zoned is to make that woman you're interested in your friend. You say it pronouncedly that she's your friend. You refer to her as your friend. And in telling the story, you let her know that, I was talking about you. I was telling my friend that my female friend here, you, that this and this and that. Make it very clear that she's your friend. And all the while, you maintain your strong position. She gets to see that you're focusing on your life, you're doing what you need to do, your life is beautiful. You might even talk about your projects with her, whatever, but she's your friend. Hell no. No woman wants to be the friend of a man who's going places. No woman wants to be the friend of a man who's succeeding, who's making things happen in his life. No. He needs to be hers. And so now the real game begins. You get friend zoned because you're thirsty for her. Of course. No woman wants a thirsty man. He has no value then. Yeah. So, welcome to this journey. If you just, whoa, always mad. I'm glad you showed up right. Always mad. Did you find out something tonight with this first comment? Hey, this is always mad. He completed 1 year of semen not too long ago, and then he stopped counting. After that 1 year, he said, I ain't counting. This is a lifestyle. Always mad started soon after I started this channel. I think we first got connected when I started this channel last year. And he's like, I'm just starting out. And we actually completed the whole year together. I mean, like he's always been on here. He's probably one of the originals. He said, yeah, I got a wrench. YouTube told me that you have gotten the most, you have written the most comments on my channel. You're the most faithful viewer and comment on my channel. And I've liked your comments the most. That means, I mean, of course, if you have commented the most, I've liked every single one of them, then I've given you the most heart. So on my panel, on this YouTube studio, when I look at your name, there's a heart right next to it, which you cannot see, but I can see it. It tells me this is your faithful viewer, your faithful subscriber. And when you told me that you completed 1 year, I said, should I need a moderator in the future? I think you should be one of them. Why not? Yeah, I think so. And so that's how you got that wrench. December 9 is my 1 year. That's yeah, let's go, brother. Jihad, my brother, you're here with me. It must be on a different time zone. Thanks for being here, man. And I think so. I think we deserve I think you guys deserve an applause every time that you guys accomplish something like this. Because it's not easy. It's not easy, but you can do it, and you have done it. So you deserve an applause. Give me 1 second here. Oh. So I had this throwback video from last year as a what did I say? It's a tribute to let's listen to it.
Shout out to my brothers around the world who have decided to get on no fat and semen retention. I'm telling you, be proud of yourself.
You are on the right path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery, the journey of self-love, the journey of self-empowerment. Stay on this journey.
I want to commend you.
Yes.
I want to praise you. You knew the journey was not going to be easy, but you decided still. You see, porn was no easy thing to quit, and still isn't an easy thing for those of you who have not fully quit. It's hard. It's going against every fiber in your being because your brain loves it.
Yep.
But you, as an honorable man,
Yes, you
knew
are.
that you deserved a better life. You knew that your life was meant to be better than just watching porn and wasting your semen. You didn't like the way you felt. You didn't like the way your life was going. You hated it, and you heard of NoFap, and you decided to join. Man, listen carefully. If nobody else told you, but I'm telling you right now, as a man who practiced porn and masturbation for 23 years, from the age of 13 till 36, I'm telling you, be proud of yourself. I'm telling you, be encouraged. Really feel good that you have made that decision, because I have met men who told me straight up, nah man, I'm not gonna quit porn. I have tried and it's too hard. Too bad if it kills me, but I can't try one more time. But you are a legend. But you love yourself. But you respect yourself. And you knew that it wasn't something to be proud of. It wasn't something that you were willing to continue to suffer for, and you were willing to put in the work. You were willing to take your chances. You were willing to believe the man who came before you, who quit porn and who came back as a testimony, as a living example to you. You believed them and you took your chances. The fact that a man can choose to get on NoFap is nothing short of miracle. It is nothing short of glory. That man must be complimented. If you are new to
And so this is what I believe. This is why I do this work. I believe, yes, you deserve to be complimented. You deserve to be told. This is not an easy task. You're going against nature. You're trying to rewire nature, which is possible. You know, it's very possible. But do you know NoFap and semen retention are the hardest work that you will ever do in your life? I swear to you. Well, somebody will say, not, don't swear. It doesn't matter. Do you know? Part of my new confidence now, part of my new self-confidence is the fact that I know I can do anything else because I remember rather the early stage of my retention. If I could go through those early stages and not go crazy and not, rape a woman and not kill myself, because that's how much the energy was building in and I really wanted to keep it in. If I did not lose my mind, if I didn't kill myself, if I didn't do anything that today would land me in jail, then I can do anything else. Because guess what? That force is within you. I've heard that there is an African proverb that says, if there is no enemy within, the enemies without can do no harm. How true is that shit? How true is that? If there is no enemy within, the enemy without is almost non-existent, because as within, so without. So if there's no enemy within, I'm pretty sure there is not one on the outside. It's the hardest work that you will ever do. But guess what also? This is the sweetest part. It's really the most rewarding work that you will ever do. Because really, it's the foundation for your money. It's the foundation for peace. It's the foundation for respect. It's the foundation for influence. It's the foundation for presence. It's the foundation for magnetism. It's the foundation for the real life that you want to live. So it's the most rewarding. You know what semen retention cures? You don't need to search information for motivation, because really the men who look for motivation is because they're not high on semen. They ain't got no testosterone going. So he wants to be motivated. So he goes online, buying books, going to seminars. I'm just trying to get motivated. No, nigga, you need to stop busting a nut, because the men with semen ain't got no motivation problems. You know how many problems that solves? Doctor's appointments. It's a whole bunch of problems semen retention solves. You don't need counseling like that. You don't need to go see that psychotherapist like that. You don't need all of those help that you would need. Somebody's laughing. Otherwise, you would need otherwise. You don't need that no more. Because you have found your power. You are grounded. You are strong. You are powerful. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of solutions that you have gotten. And so I like to come on here yes, sir, indeed. Thank you too. Appreciate you. Jihad, thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Thank you. Good night. Yeah. Somebody has to do this work. And I'm just getting started. This is just the beginning step. This is the beginning, the starting point. This message has the ability to touch the world in men's circle and in women's circle. Because trust me, there are women out there looking for this information to present it to their husbands and boyfriends, whatnot. And there are women who are seeking to understand their man. And when they get this knowledge, they will understand him. This men's superpower thing has the capacity to reach millions. It's a great message because a man has found his superpower when he exercises sexual discipline on himself. Tell me, what men do you know who does not need to exercise sexual discipline on himself? Me and Always Mad and Jihad, and I don't know who else is here. Who has reached a certain level of semen retention. But I think the camera is not even doing my face justice, so you can't see the glow. I stopped tweaking the camera. I stopped playing with it. It was too much time. I mean, 2 years in, still tweaking my cameras. Look, man, it's good enough. I ain't making no movies. It's good enough. Because, sometimes that's how the ego is. The ego want to invest in making things better, but it's really time that's being wasted. So it's good enough. Nobody has complained about it. I definitely am not complaining. But when I look at myself in the mirror, I fall in love each time. I swear to you. I fall in love with myself each time I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, oh my God. My face is lit. My face is so glowy. Like, damn. That's why these people keep looking at me everywhere I go. Like, my face glows. Oh my God. These people just want to keep looking at me. Like, as soon as I show up somewhere, my face says, what is this man on? What is he eating and drinking? Damn. My hairs are so luscious. The people who do my hair, which I've been struggling with because I can't get nobody to stick with. Anyhow, I think that's a temptation to cut my hair. And I'm fighting that temptation. But they always tell me, man, you have strong hair. Yeah. Even when I wash it myself, I know, there's barely nothing came up. I can grab a strand and try to pull that. Nothing is going to pop. And I have to believe because by the way, I started my hair from a fade shortly after I started on semen retention. So if you see, which side? From a fade shortly after I started semen retention. I started semen retention on April, I think, and last time I cut my hair was August August 2016. Yes, August 2016. So really, my hair has been getting all that juice. It's so luscious, it's so oily, it's so strong. And every time I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, you are glowing. Oh my God, like, I love this. Like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, the thoughts of those years came back. They have to come back like, oh my God, all of those years. If you haven't seen my face on semen retention, on PMO, I'm going to show you what I used to look like on PMO. Dude, jacked up, messed up. What other words do you want to use? Always looking at like a young kid, because you know my face would never shape up to have that masculine look to it. I remember one time in those years, I put some kind of rebuttal comment on YouTube, and this guy said, go build up your testosterone with your baby face. That should hurt me. You know, if I can still remember it, you know, it hurt me. Although it was a while ago. But I was always looking like so distant, so out of it, like, what is this? And when I used to look into the mirror, it would be like, oh, I don't wanna look at this. No, man, I don't want to look at this man, this face. Oh my God. Because you look all messed up. But you know, today, it's another story. People cannot deny, like that song says. Oh, there it is. Like that song says, ever since I flipped that switch, my power can't be denied. I mean, there we go. You see this, bro? I was a real estate agent in Florida at this time. I was making good money. Professionally dressed every day. You know, wearing nice clothes, nice shoes, driving a nice car, making money. Look at me. That was me. Let me blow it up some more. Yes. Somebody, I put it on my community. Somebody said, I thought that was your, little brother or something. Because I saw a picture. I was like, is that him? Is that how he used to look? Like, yeah, that's me. Well, that's the old me. Yeah, let's put it this way. Yeah, that's the old me. Looking at this picture reminds me of the pain, the suffering. Oh, I was suffering in silence, in my heart. My face was so jacked up because my body, my skin lacked zinc and nutrients and vital nutrients, and yeah. So between that picture and me with all this, I like to joke and say crazy here. I'm going to stop joking like that. Between me right now and this guy, you meet the two of us somewhere. Which one would you want to speak to? Which one would you want to deal with? This dead nigga over there? Or this jovial, happy, larger than life guy over here? And you know what's funny, bro? I swear to you. I swear to you, I was on YouTube and this guy sent me a friend request because I've been posting. Did I say YouTube? Facebook. I'm sorry. I've been posting inspiration for Facebook, like Facebook stuff. I create little small videos for Facebook. It doesn't have to do with semen retention, just general stuff, general knowledge that I have about self-development, of course. And as soon as I opened his page to check him out, I was like, oh, he's heavy on PMO. Oh my God. I'm like, this guy is fucked up. He's heavily in PMO. I'm like, should I send him a message and tell him and kind of like, try to work with him, introduce my work to him? I left it at that, but maybe I should go back and do that. But as soon as I opened, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's him. That's one of us. That's one of us. Yeah, like that's one of us. Because he looked just like that. And no life, every picture that I could see, it doesn't matter what he wore, what car, what car he was standing in front, who was surrounding him, he was always dead. And that was me. Like 1,000 pictures, he'll still look dead in 1,000 pictures, just like I used to be. Always tired. Yep. Oh, by the way, always mad too. I used to be always mad. Angry. I used to have mood swings like crazy by myself. And that's how I began to wake up, One day it just dawned on me like, whoa, I would just be sitting in my car and I'm driving. And then all of a sudden I go, you know what? Fuck this shit, man. Nobody. My thoughts. Me. Or I could just be in my car and I just go and park the car somewhere and get out and walk and go into the store. And I'm talking to myself and I'm mad. I'm literally mad over some bullshit or something by myself. And my mood would swing for no reasons. You look depleted. Can we come up with a different word, like a word that really means like something bigger than depleted? How about fucked up? I think that'll work. I looked fucked up in that picture. That'll work. That was me. And of course, I love to use my own example. Of course, because that's what I have. What else do I have? I have my life. The best teacher is a teacher who teaches out of his life experiences and then, whatever source of other learning. You can easily spot someone who's only teaching from what they have learned. Just much like an academic professor or teacher, right? An academic teacher, depending on the subject, it's not something they have experienced in their lives. It's not something they have learned. It's something they have learned to teach but not experience. That's why in college, business college, really one of some of the courses that still remain in my mind very vividly were taught by active business people in their profession teaching that course. Whoa. I'm talking about management, whether it was principles of management or accounting, whether it was financial accounting or managerial accounting, economics, business law. What else? I think also I had an ethics teacher who was currently working in whatever he was doing in the world. Those are actually the courses that stick more with me. Like I could remember, not only I remember the discussions, the settings in the classrooms, the papers, but also the principles, like because they were taught by those professors were actual, like the business law, this guy was an actual business lawyer. The accountant, That lady was an actual accountant in the community in Orlando, Florida. The business management was actually, she was a vice president for some company, ex army something, traveling the state of Florida, the southeast, the southern region, whatever. So just like these people, they teach from a different perspective because they're living that shit. They didn't read a textbook and then try to come and teach it. Just like pastors and public speakers, some of the most effective public speakers are public speakers who have lived issues that they have solved, and they come and speak. Just like pastors, the pastor who can move the most people are the pastor who who have committed the most sin, who have had the most issues in his life that he has overcome. When he's speaking those things, he's so passionate. The pastor who doesn't move as many people, or the pastor who simply just teach directly and from the Bible and from seminary, from Bible school, and never can relay an example from his own life because there's not much there. So I like to put myself out there. I like to put myself out there and say, hey, here is how I used to look, bro. Here are the things that I used to do. Here's how fucked up I used to be. And so now, if you think my energy is high, if you think you love my vibe and that's why you come here, then that's a encouragement. That's an encouragement to you of what's possible then. It's an encouragement to you of what's possible then. That's what it is. It's an encouragement to you of what's possible. I could never get my thoughts together. Anyhow, guys, ask me some questions and let's, as a way of winding down, ask me a few questions. I can't believe I used to fab 4 times a day back then. It's not just you, bro. Look, man, don't get me started again. I'm trying to wind this thing down, although I'm not sleepy, but I think I'm trying to wind it down for you guys. But then why? I know why. I have some Wingstop. I have 5 Wingstop wings waiting. Oh yeah, it's 1 something in the morning. Who cares? My digestion is good because, as you may know, semen retention is also a hormonal balance. Is also helps regulate your entire what do we call it? Digestive system, but I mean your entire immune system and digestive system. Of course. That semen is magical, man. Ever since I've been on semen retention, it's I haven't been constipated like that. Yeah. And of course, when I used to have crazy relapse, when I get constipated, yeah, because you're not the same. You're out of whack. You're out of loop with the circadian rhythm. I may eat them, I may not, but you know what that means. Most likely, I will. Anyhow, bro, you're talking about 4 times a day. Anyhow, always mad. I don't know how open you'll be to this. I've left you. I've replied to your comments and I've said something like that, but I think at that time you weren't. That was the time when you weren't on here so much. But I'd like to interview you though. Last week I think I interviewed Boss at Home, but I'd like to interview you. If you're not comfortable to come on video, we can do it audio. You can call in and we can just vibe. Um, I don't know. Of course, when it comes to creation media, some individuals may not want their faces to be out there. It'll be hard for somebody to know that's your voice. It's actually, I mean, unless that person really are in the same thing as you. But I actually would like to, just like I interviewed Boss at Home, I'd like to interview, because after 1 year you do have some insights. I know you always say you stay busy and working, but I'm sure you have a few more insights you can share. So you think about it. I'm sure you come here next time. I'll see you here next time, and let me know. And if you're not comfortable at all, that's fine. We'll move on to the next guy, because we understand this. I understand this arena. Not every man wants to come out, not the closet, but I understand. And so think about it. But for me, shit, I had to come out, man. I couldn't. But I did think about it hard though. Right before I started the channel, I was like, is this what I really want to be known for? I guess at the time I was thinking my own story, or my own or no fab, like porn. But now it's bigger than that. It's a man's superpower is sexual discipline. That's what I tell people when they ask me what I do. What is your channels about? What do you go live for? Where I teach men to establish sexual discipline in their lives, which is their superpower, which enables them to transform their lives from mediocrity to excellence. Because the more a man depletes his sexual energy, the more lethargic, unmotivated he gets. And then if it's a woman, I'm like, you probably have experienced that with a man, right? After he ejaculates, he wants to go to sleep. He doesn't want to pay attention. Yep, I know. Okay, she's sold. And so now it's bigger than where I help men not watch porn. But of course, when I was starting, I couldn't see it that way. But I was like, fuck it, man. That's my experience. That's what I've been through. That's what I have right now. I'm burning to go teach these insights. Let's go for it. There's no face to save. Let's go for it. But now today, you know what people are telling me, especially women that I talk to? Your work is very necessary. Please keep going. Stay on this journey. Yeah, the world needs you. These men need you. And these women need you too. And so, yeah. Well, my worst time on PMO were when I was really making money. And I was in businesses that didn't require a lot of presence, right? Because I knew how to do them. It was easy to make money. On my way home, I would stop at a good restaurant and get it takeout. Good food. We're talking about surf and turf, because $50 on the dinner was nothing. 35, 50, I mean, like at night, because I was making several times of that a day. Legal money. And then I would stop at the liquor store, get me a bottle of whatever. I was into Ciroc a lot. Ciroc, anything mixed with anything, chased with anything. And I would go eat some of the food. Don't get me too full. Mix my drinks. Have some drinks available. Took a shower. Basically, making myself comfortable, because I'm about to listen, I'm about to begin a ritual. If it was hot in the summer, put my AC on at the right temperature. If it was in the winter, put my heat on at the right temperature. Make sure all other windows on my laptop is closed, because I need this bad boy to be fast. I need the processor have only one thing to worry about: my charger is closed. It's close by when I'm getting low on juice. Position my pillow nicely, very comfortable. And if I have a little snack right next to me, the bed, and I'm sipping, snacking, and time is passing by, and I'm just in my ritual. Video after video. I might take a break. I might stop, go to the bathroom, go outside for a walk even, because I'm in this for 5 hours. So that's just my part time. I'm just taking a break, a 15-minute break. I didn't used to smoke by then. I didn't smoke no cigars, nothing. So now I probably would go to the cigar shop and get a cigar, which I don't even do often like that. But I would just go for a walk, or maybe jump on the phone, and go back to my part-time job and go get busy. And all the while, I'm looking forward to that powerful, crazy, I'm still trying to find descriptive words. Powerful, crazy, out of this world, moving, body shaking, bust. And usually that's the bust that hit me in the head. Yeah, I'm open like that, of course. Usually that's the one that goes over the laptop and somehow travel, and it's like pip, 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 pip. Somebody has to say it, bro. Somebody has to talk about it, because it's gonna help somebody realize that, oh shit, I'm not the only one. That's how bad this guy had it, just like me right now. And he is where he is right now. I can do it too. Then there is hope for me then. And of course, right after that explosive blow, I would feel like my spirit just left my body. Well, not that much of it was there, but whatever was there just left. And my shoulders, my spinal cord, my knees, basically my joints start hurting automatically. For years, I had shoulder pain, back pain, basically bone pain, joint pain, not arthritis. Doctors couldn't find any arthritis. They couldn't find anything. No, you don't have any problem, David. Like, everything is fine with you. Yes, but my bones are empty. My bones are aching for years. Of course, collapse in bed, sleep, only to wake up to the, to an alarm, crazy alarm, and, and half asleep, get ready, leave the house, yawning like crazy, and then stop at, well, I've never really done Starbucks, but Dunkin' Donuts was my thing. And then stop at 7-Eleven trying to get Red Bull or whatever energy drink. I need the energy. I'm trying to get something to perk me up. But like I said, the business that I was involved in didn't require magnetism. Like, it wasn't a sales present, like where I had to be my best self. Well, at that particular time, because there were times I was a salesman. I was a real estate agent, Notary Public. I was a used car partner at a used car dealership for several years. A tax preparer at one point in time. That's how I got out. And then a radio co-host at several radio stations in that community over some years. Those positions required me to be fully present. And you know how each one of them stopped? Yeah, I had a binge. So I didn't answer my phone. I didn't show up for a broadcast, for episode. Oh, I didn't reply to an email. Lost that cell. Somebody at the office took that cell over because nobody can reach me. Oh yeah, I'm busy. Like, I'm done. I'm fucked up. I'm not thinking straight, and because I just relapse and I'm in a bad mood and my energy is low, and so I might as well just continue drawing this thing out of me. That's how I watched my life pass me by and disintegrate. Lost my real estate license. Stop preparing taxes. Stop broadcasting. Those people, those men were grooming me in the community. They liked me. They liked what I had in mind, and they wanted to groom me. And I've lost so many opportunities, so many business opportunities. Really, it's only about 3 businesses I didn't fail in. The dealership, then the recession hit in 2008. Of course, nobody was buying cars. Gas was $4,000, $5,000, and nobody was buying cars. So that wasn't on me, and I wasn't the only one affected. It was us. Then I had a cleaning business that I sold, my first business in America, and my third business, but that was concurrent with the dealership. My ex-wife was doing the food concession while I was at the dealership, and so I sold the food concession twice. So that was a success. Twice meaning that the first one was a contract. There was a down payment that was made, and full ownership was to be transferred to the new owner after and only after the last payment has been made. And until then, the current owner, myself, your boy, retains full ownership of the business. And that guy played a lot of game to get that contract. The stipulations change every time. And of course, remember now, I've done business law. I've done contracts. I've dealt with contracts. I've written contracts. I write contracts. I understand. I know how to write stipulations. And I'm an Aquarius. I'm good. I understand words and how to. Anyhow, until we finally settle on the last contract that he signed. And halfway through, he called me and said, well, my wife don't want to do this no more, and I'm by myself. And, when a woman says she's not doing it no more with you, you're by yourself, man, you come home, it's basically you need to give it up too. Not that he wasn't making money, but most money was made at night when club was out on the weekend, because it was a concession truck. Hot dogs and sausages and chips and yeah. And so she didn't want to do it no more, and he gave up. So he emailed me, and I replied saying, well, you know what this means. He says, I know. Just gonna meet up with you and turn everything over to you. So he lost the down payment and all the monthly payments he had been making. And then I put it up for sale, and somebody bought it cash. So I had some good success, but I just couldn't maintain them. And of course, you know the story of the dealership, right? I lived close to the dealership, so I would be the one closing. So I had 2 partners, a Hispanic guy and a white guy. It was United Nation. So we had a lot that could take 45 cars, and so we each had 1/3, so 15 each. We purchased cars, we merchandise them, market them, and we sell each other's cars too. So if I'm not here, my partner can sell my car, he gets $200 commission, and vice versa. So if somebody comes and doesn't want one of my cars, they're free to get one of Lence's cars, because I get $200. And, there was no problem between us. But what I would do is, these guys, they lived far. I lived close, so I would be the one closing. So close the gate, pull the gate, put my car outside of the gate so I can drive off, go back inside, turn off all the lights everywhere else except my own office. We each had our own personal office. And I stripped naked. I'm laughing because that shit is funny. Stripped naked. And I had big monitors, like big office, and blow up that video big on those monitors. And your boy is having a good session before he goes home. You know who's home? His wife. Texting, calling, you need to come home, food is getting cold, or sometimes I'm horny, and I still go home and have sex with her because I was young. I still had it in me. And sometimes I would leave her, I would have sex with her, leave her in the bed, go in the living room, and jerk off again. Still have to go back to work, go to auction. Of course, still have to go set her up because I go in the morning, set her up with the truck, go to the dealership, go to auctions, do whatever I needed to do. And at night, well, in the evening, afternoon, evening, go leave the dealership, go get her, go close her out, go back to the dealership, have my fun, go home. But you could see I was a mess. I like to tell those stories not as a way of confession, because I don't need to confess, but as a way for somebody to hear it. Because every once in a while, I get a comment. Thank you for this video. Thank you for telling those stories, man. You have reached me. Like, you have gotten to me. Like, and that's all that matters. So always matter. We talk about 4 times a day. I had a part-time job, and that part-time job was more than 4 hours. Porn was my part-time job for many years. Guys, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can check one of my videos. You definitely will find a Patreon link, and you can work with me one-on-one in helping you to change your life. If you're watching me for the first time, you just stay quiet and not want to say anything. Here is what I stand for and what I do. Right. But first, if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing. I have nothing but practical insights and information for you if you are getting on NoFap and semen retention. If you browse my channel, I guarantee you will find videos that will help you on any stage that you may be on this journey, because I covered this journey entirely, because this journey is really made up of 3 stages, and I have covered all of the 3 stages. So do yourself a favor, subscribe, and also check my link for Patreon for a coaching opportunity with me. The guys that I have been coaching, their lives are being changed and expanded daily. I mean daily. So you could be one of them. If you're ready, I'm ready. Because I am excited and thrilled to help my brothers to become alive, dynamic, present, jovial, free as I am. And so, my brothers, thank you for being here. It was a great night. It was a great live. I am grateful for you. Please, you are on the right path. You are on the right journey. Stay on this journey. On this journey, you're finding your life, your personal power. This journey is incredible. Sex energy, when high in a man, when a man's sex energy supply is high, he's a beast. And I don't just mean in the gym or in the bedroom. Those are byproducts. I'm saying his being, he becomes mysterious. People want to be around him, but they don't quite know why. And they love him and they admire him. And now he has influence over himself, over his immediate environment, and the world at large. The hardest work that you can do is this work, but it's also the most rewarding work that you can do in your life. And it's the best gift that you can give to yourself. You've heard my stories. They help corroborate my teachings and my inspiration and motivation and encouragement of you. If I could do it, you certainly can. I didn't have this when I was recovering. I did not have. It was only New Breed on YouTube and Angel. Angel, yeah, was giving some good information, but New Breed, yeah. I mean, they were just talking about that all this information, all these channels, all this work on nofap and semen retention was not available when I was recovering. And so I went through the trial and error period by myself. It took me longer just to learn something that I've shared with you in all of these videos, because I had to experience them several times to learn, to extrapolate the insight from them. Imagine having to go 5 months through the same relapse and the same experience only to extrapolate an insight like, oh, so when that happens, this is what's going to happen. And if I did this, then that's not going to happen. It might take 5 years. Well, 5 months, I mean. But I'm just saying it to you. And if you pay attention to it, next time you'll find yourself in that situation, you will be empowered to know, you will know what to do. That's an incredible value you're receiving. Until next time, you are king. Stay in your kingdom. Namaste.
You are on the right path. You are on the right journey. The journey of self-discovery, the journey of self-love, the journey of self-empowerment. Stay on this journey.